Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and welcome to the second part of our Bags and Apparel modular build. Or is it the Where Are My Pants boutique build? Anyway, it's part two, and today we're going to be adding the final two floors to the middle of this wonderful build designed by Brick Artisan. It's going to be awesome, can't wait! Well, a few changes since last time. I've added minifigures, a salesman smiling from ear to ear behind the desk on the inside, and he must have made a sale, that's probably why he's grinning, to this lady who looks very upmarket, leaving the store with a bag full of pants. I've also added one of my benches, the style that I use, with advertising on the backrest. It might well come out a bit further when we've got the road plates in place, but that looks pretty good for now, including the sticker from the New York postcard set 40519. I've also added the florist, and he is quietly and happily waving at a butterfly, which was a suggestion from one of you that made the flowers look all the more fresh and desirable. So I like that idea. So a bedoing to you if you were the one who suggested that. Quite a few people suggested that I add the rest of the bodies to the sort of mannequins for the pants, but I don't know, I thought that would detract from them, and the fact that we've got the sort of connection stems on those shorts just means it's part of the mannequin to me, so I don't really mind that, so I'm not going to make that change that was so widely suggested. Anyway, I thought I'd read out a quick letter from Brick Artisan, whose instructions for this wonderful set that we'll be completing today are available already on Rebrickable if you want to check those out, give those a purchase. Before my changes, of course, all the little things I'm adding, but you can copy those from this video, so that's all right. Also, do check out his YouTube channel for progress on his city. So anyway, Brick Artisan says, Dear Robin, I've been a long-term fan of the channel. You've been one of my inspirations to build my city and create MOCs. I've never had a chance to send anything to Brick Hall O'Clock since the distance between Brick Nottingham and Lego Bay City would mean the shipping costs more than the parts, lol. So I guess this MOC design is my way of contributing to your city. I'll be proud to have it alongside your wonderful creations. Thank you for collaborating with me, and I hope we can do more in the future. And if I ever build an airport, seaport or train tunnel, one of the destinations will certainly be Brick Nottingham. Your friendly neighbourhood artisan, Kim. Oh, that is absolutely lovely. So thanks very much for that note, Kim. Here is your bedoing for your contribution to the city. So we better get on with one of those additional floors in the middle, hadn't we? And we'll start off with just the floor level because the geometry is quite amazing. I don't think I showed you significantly enough on the roof how it all sort of dovetails together so perfectly. But yeah, that's probably even better shown with the floor plan for the second floor. Yes, so two more floors today, plus quite a few more changes to the original build to make it a bit more Robin Hood Bricksy, plus a massive 3D sign topper on the roof, which I think you're going to enjoy. Really good fun, that. And then, of course, we'll put it in the Lego room, though that will be subject to change because the Lego room is in a bit of state of flux at the moment. But anyway, this is the wonderful geometry I was talking about with all of these lovely wedge plates, the 3x12 ones, all tessellated together in this wonderful shape that gives the build such that impressive frontage. And it's kind of the same build style that was in the boutique hotel recently, the official modular, but just taken a whole lot further to create that entire curved surface. And I think arguably almost more impressive than that is the wedge for the kitchenware shop that just fits absolutely perfectly into the gap left out with a little bit sticking out to give it a bit more prominence. I mean, I just think that's brilliant. So yeah, very clever indeed. I wish I'd thought of it. Anyway, the kitchenware store, we can start with that. This is above where all the teacups and pots and all things like that were. So I thought I'd make this one more of a kitchen showroom. So I've just made up a mini sort of kitchen to show off different things for sale. I think that's a dishwasher in the middle, I don't know, cupboards and all sorts of friends cookware, including a frying pan, a spatula on the end there, and a mixer and so on. So basically that can just be pushed onto this floor here. Now, that's about all we can fit in here. Whatever we put in is going to be very hidden. So, I think the fact that we've got the smaller stuff downstairs and the bigger stuff for those who are investing in a new kitchen upstairs makes a lot of sense. And then I've done the whole build for the next floor as one piece, and very nice that looks too. So that can go on there with a floor to the, with stairs rather, to a floor above even that. Let's see if I can push all that down in one go without smashing everything. Yeah, that seems to have worked. I think we've knocked the frying pan off. That might need a bit more thought anyway. And then on the very front, we've got some plants just to cover up this bit as sort of window boxes. So that looks really good. Oh, we're going to have to take these tiles off, aren't we, to fit those in? Yes, because it's very clever, the sort of framing of all of this. And then we aren't going to be able to put that in there. Oh, there we go. It's one of those builds where you've got to get things in the right order, but that looks very intricate and interesting. I'm wondering if these are blinds or shutters or something like that, or maybe they're just air conditioning units, but they look very nice. Break it up a great deal. This wall is very plain, but that's going to be connecting with a neighbour, so that's not a problem there. And yeah, I just put the frying pan in place of that dish, and we can have the stove with nothing on it at all, so it actually fits against the wall. That's a good improvement. So there we go. I really like that. That is a great addition for one side. Then the other side, I thought I would copy what Brick Artisan did on his original build. First of all, by putting in a changing room here. It's not actually attached to any of the other walls. Essentially, it just goes up to them. And we've got two microphone pieces as what I think must be clothes hooks for hanging your clothes on while you're trying on the pants. Though, thinking about that, what, you're trying on the pants? What, and then putting them back if you don't like them? And then, no, it isn't worth thinking about, is it? Anyway, that is a changing room. I might have to see if I've got a sticker for a sign on the door. And then we just need loads more pants, basically, all different colours, all sort of folded up neatly, all over the place. So we'll have a little display there, a bigger display here in front of this window, an even bigger display with multiple shelves in front of this window. Look at that, very nice indeed. Quite a clever build that of his, with the panel pieces with some 2x3 plates with all the stacked produce on in the middle. I like that. And a little stool here for when you're sitting down waiting for your other half. Yeah, that happens a lot in the Hood household. And it ain't me that's in the changing room. And then I was going to use this, which is kind of a chest of drawers with a hanging sort of rail above it. And that was a build that I stole from the Queer Eye set. But essentially, the pants don't look that good kind of hanging up just by one of these pegs. So I thought instead what I'd do is just take that entire hanger off and just use the jumper plates that were on there to support two mannequins. And then we can have some very tiny little pants and some much bigger boxer shorts here on display on that unit there. And we can have that around about there, I'm going to say, as my first stab. Then we need a salesman for this floor, or rather a sales lady, and she's another very, very smiley person, always willing to do whatever you need help with your pants. Yeah, that sounds really bad. That's not what I meant. But she works on that floor. And then I thought I'd show you just one section of the exterior, which is just so intricate. Whenever I do one of these builds myself, I'm always tempted to economize on the pieces, and I think that's a big mistake. This has got tons and tons of 1x1s and loads of different pieces, jumper plates, all bringing things kind of offline by half a stud or something like that. And it just makes such a difference. It looks really, really ornate and quite amazing. 1x1 rounds, 1x1 squares. These hinge pieces obviously holding on to the next section along a window box, nice tall window, and those brick profile pieces, as well as these columns and the tooth pieces. I mean, there's just so much going on there, and it just looks absolutely amazing. So that will fit on to a section like that. Now I've just got to build the other 3 of those, a little bit more on here, the outer walls, and then we'll be pretty much done there. Oh, and then we need to worry about the staircase, of course, which is another spiral to save space. Cool. Ho ho ho, now you're talking. Look at that. That is what everyone loves about this modular. It looks absolutely fantastic. There's really no gaps of daylight even in between each of these sections, so it just looks fabulous with a continuation of that climbing plant. Nice bright flowers on the window boxes, looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, an empty changing room, all of that stuff in place with our cellar, and the stairs, the spiral stairs, look very rickety indeed, but actually they're quite sturdy. They're held on basically on the side here and on the top, and I just thought they'd be wobbly as hell, but they're not. So that is quite a good design, I must say. I think they're even sturdier than the ones on the ground floor. So yeah, some tap pieces for the kind of banister to stop you falling down the hole in the middle, and I think that's a really good floor. Just enough furniture to make it look nice and busy, but not too much. Fantastic. So we can put this into position along with our kitchen showroom on the main build so far. And I think you could almost stop here if you wanted. Oh, he says, knocking a flower off. Because basically this is almost enough of a build. But, you know, like all these things, more is more. So I think we'll definitely be adding another story onto this. But also you could go even higher than that. You could keep going and add more and more stories. But, you know, that looks quite good for sort of a medium rise building. I think you'll agree. But yeah, we're definitely doing another floor because, well, we haven't got subversive enough yet. I do want to put something a bit more Robin Hood bricksy on the floor above, but I'll come to that shortly. Before that, I do want to add a sign in here. Now, we've established we're going to be adding the Where Are My Pants sign, because this is a pants store. And originally I was just going to have it sort of flat to the wall like that. But I thought, well, that's a bit less interesting than having more of a marquee type sign that sticks out like this. But that would mean it would have to be double-sided so you could see it up and down the street. But I think that would be a good change. And I was just playing around with that idea. And I figured I'd have a bracket like this sticking out of the wall. Now, to that, I need to add some bracket pieces of this variety that usually can fit into a build horizontally without any sort of clash of brick spacing. But if I put one in here like this to support one side of the sign and here to support the other side of the sign, you see they don't actually fit. It's kind of like an illegal build. Can you see that? They don't want to be close together. But technically, according to Lego geometry, that should work. So I don't know quite why it doesn't. I think it's because this piece has quite a broad underside rim to it. I don't know why that is, just to give it a bit more grip. But I thought I could force the matter by squeezing it together from both sides using the 2x4 plates. So one will essentially go on there and one on the other side. But how to make them cling to each other? Well, I thought if I add this sort of a setup to one side and a similar setup to the other side with my second Where Are My Pants sign, I could put them like that, kind of back to back, like that, and clip one side on there. And then I've got two pairs of studs to clip this sign to like that. And there you go. It's got enough power to squeeze it all together, just like my fingers were, to create a lovely low profile two-sided sign for Where Are My Pants, visible up and down the street, whilst not falling foul to this weirdness of this piece that I just don't understand. So maybe if you understand that, comments in the comments section of why that doesn't really want to be attached to this when it really should work. Anyway, it does work when I do it like this, so I'm very happy with that. And I just need to attach that into here, and I'll push it down. Yep, that's worked. I think that looks rather smashing. Where are my pants? Visible up the street, visible down the street. Oh yes, that is a good improvement. I might use this type of sign elsewhere in my city because it's very low profile given it's two-sided. I'm quite impressed with my own design skills. Cool, right, let's get on to the next level up. It's going to be pretty much the same build for both sides in a way, but the interiors are going to be quite different. And I think it wouldn't be a Robin Hood bricks build without something seriously subversive on the top floor. So I thought, yeah, come on, let's include some child labour. I mean, if you think about it, these small pants that are on sale here are very intricate. And if you're making very intricate pants, it definitely helps if you have very small hands. I mean, you need to be able to get around all the little lacy bits and the labels and all the rest of it. So why not have child labour to do it? You know, they've got to earn a living as well. So that's what I thought I would do on the top floor. Have a kind of humorous sweatshop, if there is such a thing, with lots of little small hands needed to make lots of intricate pants with, well, very little sewing machines, presumably, with somebody looking after them to make sure they don't run off. Yep, so that's what I'm going to do. Dark, I know, but let's go with it. Good. Well, the third floor was going to be, well, more of the same originally, with a cashier's till, with the more valuable items under glass, shelving, racking, tables, all the rest of it. But that's boring. We did that. What we need on this floor is something a lot more interesting, something that SSP should be dealing with, but totally haven't. And that is our illegal, kind of Oliver Twist-esque, that's hard to say, Oliver Twist-esque sweatshop, which has got loads of children being roped into labour. And for that scene, I've made 4 of these lovely sewing machines based on an ice skate piece, using kind of random colours, but those are the ones that I had available, and each one working on a different coloured fabric. So we've got somebody making these little quarter circle pieces out of red fabric, and this person's working on the green fabric. And I think it's important that the kids are looking a bit worried, a bit overworked, and this one's clearly been taken straight out of school because she's still in her school uniform. In fact, if we look at the bigger scene, you'll see that some of the workers are not very happy at all. This fella's in tears in his male school uniform, and then we've got somebody with their I Love Legoland t-shirt on, and this guy who looks very under pressure indeed. And each has got their own machine, and each has got a little one of these containers for putting their finished products in. I'll just push that one down in the corner. And the touch that I like most is these little cheese wedge pieces, little black ones. And that's because they are the pedals for accelerating the sewing machine. So I can put that onto position there, have this young lady in position here with her scissors. And the only thing missing really is the Fagin character from this dystopian scene. So I thought I'd have somebody who looked very clearly to be a criminal, and that's this guy. He's called Vito, and he's got the criminal pattern on his tie, so we know he's a baddie if it wasn't clear for other reasons. So yeah, he is keeping all of these kids in line by coercement, let's say. So yeah, it's a very dark scene, but it's quite a fun one, I think, in the fact that we've got little sewing machines, little workers, little hands, hard at work, and I like it a great deal. So that is going to be our third floor of this side, and hopefully I can just put this whole wall back on, and it probably won't work because we're live on camera, but oh no, that was all right actually. Let's see if I can get this last bit back on. Brilliant. So there we go. That is our top floor for that side. And then for the other side, I just thought we'd have a storeroom. Essentially, it's very hard to see inside already. So some more crates, some big dishes, another stairs up to this skylight door. So that will fit in there and go into the bigger piece. So let's combine it all together, have a good look at it, and then we can take it into the Lego room. But yeah, I think that scene is really good fun. So hopefully you aren't taking that too seriously as an endorsement of child labour or anything. But, you know, the fashion industry is quite well known for, you know, keeping their labour costs as low as possible. So yeah, it's kind of an observation on reality. There we go. It's a good part of the law of our city. If only this super secret police would do something about it. Nah, that's the real crime. Excellent. So that is the building complete and my amendments complete, but the build wouldn't be finished without an oversized 3D sign. Yeah, every Robin Hood Bricks build gets that treatment. So when I designed this 3D sign as an experiment on Lego Digital Designer, it was so good, I enjoyed it so much that basically I thought I had to do it immediately as part of this video, which is why I did a very quick emergency brick haul to get the parts that weren't already in my collection in order to include it as part of this video. Incidentally, I'm just using some headlight bricks on their side where they're 2 studs deep combined with a 1x1 stud, so I've got a connection point on the back and on the front. just to get the spacing exactly right as I need it. And I also gave, as part of that brick haul, the challenge of identifying what my 3D sign was going to be. Now, given this is a shop that sells pants, you should really have guessed it. So yeah, here is a lovely dark azure stripe at the top, or should I say waistband of this sign. A white stripe, another dark azure stripe, and then some white tiles, because yes, this is a wonderful pair of pants. Now, it isn't quite finished. We do need to add a bit of the trim put on in that sweatshop by those tiny hands, very skilled indeed, over the leg holes, and then in the centre to create a very old school pair of pants. So there we go. How about that? I mean, that is very fun and very cool, isn't it? I couldn't have this build without that on the roof. But I thought if that's covering the male half of the population, then we'd also need a pair of female pants. And that was made in a very similar way, slightly smaller, slightly more feminine colour. And I've just added a little heart on there as kind of a bit of decoration. Unfortunately on a white headlight brick, but nonetheless, there's not too much colour leakage there. So I thought that was really good fun, actually. A pair of pants on the roof. Now they need to go on at a kind of a jaunty angle, so with that in mind I just made a simple sort of bracket, and the good thing about that roof being kind of multifaceted is that I can put it on an angle and have it sort of diagonally pointing out to the rest of the city. So I think what I'm going to do is have the female ones on this side. I'll just attach that piece on there, the male ones on that corner there, and then I can kind of position it like that as a wonderful pants 3D sign. I mean, that really is pants, isn't it? The most pants build I've ever done. And that can be on the roof. Shall I grab the roof? Ooh, let's see if I can pull it off without... Oh, no, that was easy. So we'll have to just decide exactly where we want it. I think we want it right over the door, kind of facing forward. So maybe in between all of these grill pieces. Will be the best. Look at that. That is the crowning glory. I think you'll agree. That looks absolutely amazing. Maybe need to tilt that one in a little bit more. Yeah. So that will advertise from absolutely miles away exactly where the Where Are My Pants store is, and where to go and what they sell. So that is brilliant. I really like that. Cool. Well, I'm going to put all of this on the top, and then we'll have a final look at the build before we put it in the Lego room. Well, shaky hands cam is the only way to show off the entire of this build on my desk, from the florist at the bottom to the lovely 3D pants sign on the top. And wow, this is just such a beautiful build. Such a wonderful design by Brick Artisan. I think everyone absolutely loves it at first sight. It's that curved frontage, isn't it? It just looks absolutely amazing with that ornate brickwork. Really having loads of detail from top to bottom. And I really like the large arched windows. I think they really show off the produce of the store very well indeed. And that new sticker is a really good addition by me, I think. Yeah, I really like my marquee sign and those awnings that I added. But yeah, the level of detail is just astounding on this. I think the flower stall is a really good example of that. You know, everyone should have that in their city. It just looks an absolute picture. And the insides of the kitchenware shop are an absolute joy on the ground floor as well. All of that produce fixed into those very clever shelves. And I really like the K external sign as well in green, the climbing plant, and yeah, all of those tessellated pieces, wedge plates, all held together. And I thought it'd be a lot more rickety. That was my fear. I thought it'd be unstable and maybe not very strong at all, but it is strong. It is as stable as any other modular. So I think it works really well. My sign adds that just little flash of interest and colour to the top as well. Yeah, and a bit more 3D than the original with these additions around the base. So yeah, I like it. And the interior is absolutely amazing as well. The ground floor with all of its displays, the middle floor with its changing room for pants, which makes less sense when it's pants now rather than the bags and apparel that we had before. But my favourite is always the subversive, and therefore the sweatshop that I've hidden at the top there is an absolute firm favourite now. But this is just a beautiful build. I can't wait to see it as part of a bigger run of modulars in my city, I think it really would have won that Bricklink Designer Program 5 had it been allowed to by Lego. So that is a real shame that this won't be reaching the shelves. But yeah, that is a lovely build. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you'll be building this yourself or buying the instructions from Rebrickable. Do also tell me if you think I could add any amendments to this version, including all of my changes like the sweatshop and the 3D sign. Yeah, I just love that. That is so funny. It'll be seen from miles around. Where are my pants? Wow, wow, wow. Check that out. Absolutely amazing. It looks so good as part of a run of modulars. Now, this may not be its final position. Obviously, we can shuffle the order as much as we want, but I do think that this might be the final kind of direction of placement, because it's very important that that best angle that we're looking at now is visible from the main viewing angle of the Lego room. So it must be facing the front. It would be a real crime to have it sort of on this corner facing into the back of the Lego room. And not just for that, but so we can see that wonderful 3D sign silhouetted against the sky blue walls. So that looks absolutely amazing. And you know what? Another thing that is quite amazing about this design is it's absolutely seamless when it's next to assembly square. The heights of each of the floors is bang on for a modular. Hadn't appreciated that before. And you know, that kitchenware shop could be physically attached to the assembly square side of things rather than the curved building, if you ask me. It looks absolutely integrated and squished in, just like it would be in a real city. But yeah, that looks fantastic. So I'm incredibly happy with this build. I'm almost tempted to add a third floor. I think it would look good with a third upper floor, that is, to make 4. But then again, you know, we want to have a row of facades behind, so I don't want to block them either. And it shouldn't really be the tallest building in the entire city, one that sells pants. But yeah, I love this. So yeah, we could have it on the other side of Brick Bay, where I'm standing now, when we finally get to that. And that will make that curved surface even more visible from the front. But yeah, I do quite like it with this kitchenware store very visible as well, because it is also very pretty and we can see into those windows. And if it's tucked around the corner, that would be very less true. We can't see so much of the second side of my clever sign or into those windows, but then again, we can from a distance and from the main viewing angle. So yeah, I do like that. Anyway, that is a great success, a great collaboration, a really fun build. I've got to say, I've enjoyed doing it actually. Long may that continue. If there's another good one you're doing, Kim, let me have the instructions and maybe we'll build that as well. It's also made me think about designing my own, because I'm doing all these little builds and the city builds all the time. I never get to actually pause and build an old school modular. Always trying to do something sort of funny or clever, and maybe just some good, honest modular buildings would be a real asset to this city. Now we've got a bit more space. I suppose why I didn't do it before was because, well, I could only just fit in the regular ones. So yeah, love that. Very good indeed. So happy. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome Lego builds. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Brick Haul O'Clock, we'll be doing a brick haul on Wednesday. And then next Friday, I've got no idea, but I figure we should make more progress in the city because, well, it's still in an absolute state of undress, isn't it? No pun intended. But yeah, this has been an absolutely great collaboration. I think you'll agree. Do let me know what you think in the comment section. But yeah, I'll be very happy to do more modulars like this in the future. So anyway, until we next meet, see you! Yeah, but my sign is the best bit, isn't it? Yeah? Totally.